talk about this for many reasons. I think the biggest reason is to protect the most important people in my life, which is the mother of my kids and my kids.
Let me ask, is there an opportunity for a re-invite? Is there anything you could do? Any message to the ex-wife?
A re-invite? I don't know. I think maybe it's best to let her have her moment and me not be there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think that's good.
I feel like
as long as the kids get to experience that and be a part of it.
A few months later, she even says I'm her soulmate.
My soulmate, I know for a fact that it's Austin, and I also believe that my life partner is also Austin.
Wait, did Austin McBroom really just hint that Catherine Paiz's wedding might have been fake? Because, y'all, what he said on stream has everybody looking at this fairy tale ceremony a whole lot differently. Now, Catherine just tied the knot with her new man, Brazilian tattoo artist Igor Ten, and the wedding looked perfect. Soft lighting, designer dress, church bells, and even her kids walking down the aisle with her. But once again, Austin started talking, and then things took a turn real quick. According to him, this wasn't the romantic happily ever after. Austin basically implied that the wedding was rushed, not out of love, but for immigration reasons. Yep, he low-key hinted that the whole thing might have been about Igor getting a visa. And I mean, I'm not saying it's true, but if you've seen how fast everything happened from engagement to I do in less than 4 weeks, you couldn't tell me that that doesn't sound suspicious. To make it worse, people online are now speculating that that's why Catherine got so emotional during the ceremony. Those tears weren't about joy, they were about pressure. And of course, this whole situation has Austin's name all over it. Because at first, Catherine actually invited him to the wedding, and then she uninvited him right after. So now the internet is wondering, was he really being messy, or did he say something that hit a little too close to home? Now, let's get into this wedding situation for real, because it's messy from start to finish. Back in August, when Catherine announced her engagement, Austin actually reacted in a pretty chill way on stream. At first, he sounded supportive. He said he would go for the kids, that he wanted to see them happy, and that he was genuinely proud of her for moving on. He even said he might cry watching her walk down the aisle, but we'll never know if those would have been happy tears or heartbreak tears because he didn't show up. Apparently, something changed right before the big day. Austin said she understood that if he didn't go and he chose not to, but let's be real, it's giving uninvited energy, especially considering all the subtle shade that followed after. Now, Catherine hasn't directly responded, but if you watched her wedding clips, the emotions were intense, and I think deep down, we both know why. Because let's be real, the whole thing moved way too fast. Catherine officially divorced Austin in January 2024, and by that November, she was already soft launching her new man on Instagram. No tag, no caption, just a poolside photo and that line, "My love," with a pink heart emoji. At first, everyone assumed it was just a casual post-divorce fling, but a few months later, she dropped the bomb. She was engaged, and then not even 4 weeks after that, she was walking down the aisle. Now, people fall in love quickly all the time, sure, but when you look at how public this all was, the matching photos, the highlight reels, the wedding dress reveal, it almost felt like Catherine was trying to prove something. Prove she had moved on, prove that she was happier, and prove that she didn't need Austin anymore. And honestly, before we even get too deep into the wedding part, we gotta talk about why this whole situation feels so messy in the first place, because Catherine and Austin's divorce never really ended. Like, y'all remember that Call Her Daddy episode? Catherine went on there and basically blew the lid off their marriage. She accused Austin of cheating on her not once, not twice, but even while she was pregnant. That was her breaking point. After years of rumors, that podcast was her big "I'm done" moment.
Even through our divorce, even through everything, I never heard him say the words "I cheated" until about a week ago when that first chapter of my book came out. I've never heard him say the words "I cheated." And when I heard the words, I was like, oh my God, finally I heard it. Thank you so much. That was all I was waiting for. Thank you. That's all I needed to hear. You could have just said it to me. You could have just been honest with me and just told me. But it was like I was being gaslighted. Like, it wasn't actually happening. And it was like...
But of course, Austin didn't take that quietly. He hopped on Snapchat right after talking about how he was getting ready to drop an atomic bomb. He never said her name, but everyone knew exactly who he was talking about.
She wants to use that specific moment out of all the 10 years we've ever been through anything to define me as a terrible person and a terrible husband.
And from there, it just spiraled. He started hinting that Catherine wasn't as innocent as she wanted people to think. Not only did he accuse her of cheating with her now husband Igor, but he also reportedly claimed that she condoned his infidelity, basically trying to make it seem like she was okay with it all along. So now we're sitting here like, wait, if that's true, then this whole new love story started before the divorce papers were even dry. Because if Austin is telling the truth, then this wedding might not just be about moving on. It might be about rewriting history.
As you guys are aware, I think it needed to happen sooner than later because he's obviously not from here. So in order for him to stay, that had to happen.
Now, after hearing everything Austin has been hinting at, people started going back and actually looking at the wedding details, and that's when things started feeling a little off. What makes it even weirder is how quiet everything was leading up to it. No official venue announcement, no teasers, no bride-to-be posts, nothing. Even her siblings stayed silent online until fans started asking why nobody in her family was posting. It's like everyone suddenly got the same memo to keep things hush-hush. Now, even with all the red flags people noticed in the wedding, one thing became obvious. Austin was falling apart. Because the second those photos from Catherine's ceremony started spreading, he jumped right into full dramatics mode. He posted this long, emotional video where his brother came over, basically confronting him about how much he's been struggling since the breakup and Catherine's new marriage. It felt less like a casual talk and more like a scripted scene. Lights, camera, heartbreak.
Oh, it's not okay. This is not okay. Not me. No, not me.
And then, right after that, he shared another clip of himself heading into a therapy session, trying to look calm while the camera lingered on his face. But you could tell that this wasn't a man at peace. It looked like someone trying really hard to convince everyone, maybe even himself, that he's fine.
Listen, it's okay. If you want to scream, if you want to yell at the top of your lungs, if you want to pound the desk, it's okay, but you need to release your feelings, your emotions.
People immediately caught on online, and the comments were brutal. One said, Austin is just like any other narcissistic man who can't treat a woman right and then wants to pretend to be heartbroken when that very same woman, who was never treated right, finally finds the strength to leave and find real pure love that they are deserving of. And honestly, you cannot even argue with that. Because when Catherine was crying during interviews and trying to explain what she went through, he didn't seem half as emotional. But now that she's moved on, suddenly he's the victim? It doesn't make sense. Another person wrote, this man-child cannot let Catherine have 5 minutes of genuine happiness before making it all about himself. And that's exactly what this feels like. She's walking into her new chapter, and instead of giving her space, he's filming breakdowns for views. And here's the thing, no one is saying that he doesn't have real feelings. Heartbreak hurts, especially when you share kids and a history. But the way he handled it made it look less like grief and more like guilt. He didn't get the ending he wanted, and now he's trying to rewrite the story through tears and sympathy, which is exactly why people don't think this is the end of it. Because if there is one thing about Austin, he hates being the one left behind. And just in case Austin has been hinting about dropping something soon, maybe I missed it. But just in case I didn't, let's be real. It's probably not another apology video. He's been quiet, but it's that strategic kind of quiet, like he's just waiting for the perfect moment to stir things up again. Honestly, it would not shock me if he is still sitting on a few stories or receipts about Catherine, saving them for when the noise dies down. And if that's true, this whole story is about to get way messier. And just in case anything else drops, you already know I'll keep y'all updated. So yeah, drop your thoughts below. Do you really think Catherine might have cheated on Austin with Igor? And what about the whole immigration rumor? Because this situation keeps twisting by the day. I'll catch you guys in the next video.